that where my face is? Hope so. How you doing? Welcome to your own home. Make yourself comfortable. I've got a glass of cider. Have you got anything? Help yourself to whatever you like. So, my name's Toby. Thanks for tuning in. I suppose you've seen that on your screen. I'm gonna say some poems now for the next while, just to give you a sense of where we are, this end of things. I'm sat cross-legged on a lawn. It's got lots of daisies on. It's also got various kind of flower patches dotted around, some of which have trees sprouting out of the middle of them. All of the trees are in blossom. Apparently we've got another kind of week to 10 days of blossom, so that's very nice. Maybe I'll take some shots of the garden after this, so you can kind of see. Oh, the cuckoo's happening again. Today I just heard the cuckoo. Maybe for the first ever time. It's the first ever time I've noticed hearing it not in a clock. My aunty Jackie's been waiting for it to turn up. It turns up around this time of year. Anything else? There's a sort of circular hedge with a cherub in here. The cherub is playing some kind of a stringed instrument and looking ponderously over in this direction. He's got long curly hair, and he's completely naked, and he's missing a foot. But he seems pretty chilled out. Alright, so without further ado, I'm gonna start saying some things that rhyme. The first of those things is called Black Coffee, and I wrote it when I was living in a castle with my friend Jules and her dog Bessie, who is also my friend. I was checking my reflection in a cold cup of coffee, chewing on some cud as solid as an old chunk of toffee. And if I remember with a morsel of precision the gist, I was whistling a smorgasbord of cheesy old Brazilian hits. Those fuckers know how to write some brilliant riffs. It's no mean feat to make a chorus sound as sunny as an orchard of Sicilian figs. I was checking my reflection. Thoughts rushing random like rivers of fish. Thoughts running rampant like Linford. Every time the index finger on the pistol's trigger was twitched. Or like cheetahs chasing antelopes to snack on in the absence of a Snickers or Twix. Pringles. Skips. I was checking my complexion. Inspecting my expression, dissecting my impressions. Needling the padlock at the entrance to perception, indulging my propensity for endless introspection, trying to read the present in the dregs of my reflection. Never one for necking my refreshments. I found myself more inclined to ration the ingesting of the splitting image spectre in attendance. I was questioning my essence. Thoughts running rampant like leopards chasing lemons, beggars chasing pittance, pleasures chasing penance. Whistling that Gorgonzola bossa nova, sunny as some quarter moon crescents made of melons. I was serenading heavens, reveling in the fact to have beauty built into me, as well as obsolescence. Pretty much the same as every clever ape compression of flesh and faith and tendon that ever spent a lifetime's worth of consecutive forevers made of seconds, thickening the human plot, perpetuating legends. I was trembling with reverence, drowning in a swamp of unintelligible sentiment, staring at this fair-haired boy who bears a scarily identical resemblance, a little bit fatigued now, flagging some from feeling such tumultuous revulsion and affection for the mess of imperfections, currently being fleetingly reflected in this demitasse of tepid evanescence. I was stealing glimpses from my tiny twin brother in the beverage. My legs were turned to jelly in his presence. I was swirling him about a bit, dementing his dimensions, delaying gulps, gargling some nebulous inflections, lazily conducting my celestial inspections, finding myself in the viscous abyss of this raven wing flat black liquid eclipse. I was checking my reflection in a cold cup of sludge, chewing on some cud as solid as an old lump of fudge, and if I retain with a fragment of precision the gist, I was failing to fathom such riddles as this. Why do pots of black coffee give me worse withdrawal achings than tanned young mischievous chicks do almost? Also, is the entirety of life little different from a synonym for twizzling cement shoestrings and going swimming with the fishes and squids? Only the Lord knows. I was disentangling my twisted dreams, picking the stitch of how to figure out the figurines the mirror depicts, disregarding the clock's tucks, killing its ticks, each one appearing as perennially permanent as pyramid crypts, while somehow simultaneously proving as ephemeral as childhood and sunlight and flickering wicks. By this point, the sun had redistributed the bliss of its kiss, flicking me the proverbial middle fingerless fist, and the caffeine juice, if still deliciously rich, was as chilly as some skinny hippie Inuit dips, and the whites of my eyes were as crimson as the cotton at a cricketer's hips, and frankly I was tiring of attempting to convince myself that half a dozen whimsical twits are considerably different from 6, i.e. that I'm ever going to see a single-entered answer definitively ticked in the quiz of how to comprehend the truth of who this bigger-than-his-britches future fallen Icarus is, with his ill-fated folded synthetic feathers flimsy as the fins of a fillet of bream. Black coffee bean, what a picturesque scene. No spoonful of sugar, no trickle of cream. That way I know there's no dilutions in the syrup when it hits the bloodstream, and has my rate of heartbeats per minute rising like billowing steam. Dear child self, worry not. I'm living the dream. Call it karma, call it sin, a mother's love, an awkward fling, a game of chess, a blade of grass, a circle's curve, a ball of string. Call it yang, call it yin, the rising tide, the falling wing, the tiger's bite, the hornet's sting. Call it the gauntlet, the scorpion's fling. As Mother Earth flaunts her floor-length gown, the one with the 3D floral print, call it her ultimate crowning achievement. Call it a frivolous, thoughtless whim. Call it the killer whale's dorsal fin, cautioning you to stay put where the water is see-through and warm and thin. Call it autumn, lovingly sweeping the leaf-strewn floor of yet another catacomb built in a hurry. See him scowl, hear him stammer guiltily, glumly. Isn't she plum blossom wiltingly lovely? Call her the still warm corpse of spring. Who built the wall that walls me in? To escape to a place where a moonbeam dappled, stardust-strewn stream babbled. For me was the work of an instant, the travail of a wrinkle in time to dance with myself to the tune of the twilight arts in which Harry Houdin dabbled. For me was the toil of a one-time glitch in existence's glitchless design. Why the long face? Why the long pause? Why the long silhouette? You seem baffled. It's only a sunrise. It's only a brain I think, therefore. I am two dreams shackled. One bag of raw flesh and bones encased. In black widow woven robes of lace. Who am I? Who wants to know? Bro, I feel like a pair of mirrors in a smoke-filled place. Each inquiring at the other's oval face. Who am I? Who wants to know? Bro, I feel like a pair of mirrors in a smoke-filled place. Each inquiring at the other's oval face. Who are you? 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 It's funny. It's just what I was just about to ask you. Who am I? Who's asking? Me. Hi again. Still here. Oh. Well, it's such a nice time of day. Can you hear the bees buzzing around? Sleepy bees. They've done their day's work, really. They should be sleepy. Not a cloud in the sky. Fucking birds. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is a brand new thing that I've never shared with an audience before. I'm going to do the long version, because why not? It's continuing a sort of coffee theme. It's called Stacked Plates. And I dedicate it to the Rustique Literary Cafe in Tufnell Park, where I was when I wrote half of it, and where I often am. And the proprietor of which, who's called Beckham, I'm forever grateful to for always remembering my name, even when I rock up with a suitcase after like 2 years, and he's like, "Oh, Toby, so nice to see you." So anyway, in homage to the Rustique. Balanoid, shaped like an acorn, stelliferous, abounding with stars. Ailurophilia, a liking for cats. Tootle, the sound made by tooting on a flute. Ambergris, an opaque ash-coloured secretion of the sperm whale intestine used in perfumery. Zephyr, a gentle mild breeze. Ambisinister, clumsy with both hands. As I piously embark upon another shuffling pilgrimage to some or other artisan cathedral of consumption, perchance to spend a 2 slowly sipped cappuccinos lasting sojourn, basting my senses in the atmospheric marinade of this or that, sun-facing eatery in London, the tapping of my feet upon the pavement puts me momentarily in mind of the repetitious meeting of the palm of a policeman with a truncheon. Today's a Wednesday. The flowers are in bloom, the birds are tootling and tweeting up above them. It's the time of year when amethyst wisterias are seizing sovereignty over the streets without compunction. I respect their chutzpah, their zeal, and their gumption. As for my ambitions for the future, I have an evening plan to eat a pizza with my cousin. In the meantime, I couldn't say for absolutely sure, but it's a scarcely inconceivable presumption that I'll attempt to make a vaguely wholesome meal of the morning minutes ratios as follows. 2 parts. Idly eavesdropping on the Bucks Fizz gossip bound to waft like pollen from the pink-lipped florets of a neighbouring inebriated luncheon. 3 parts. Scouring the haystack of my psyche for the key to the conundrum of if and how I ever might compellingly persuade my attic-dwelling ego to give the gift of freedom to a couple of the more malignant demons in his dungeon. 4 parts. Experimenting with a list of words I scribbled on the back of a receipt last night just before I went to sleep, as has of recent been my custom. The plan is to one day not feel like I might as well be speaking speciously in Russian. Every time I try and say something sort of kind of vaguely fairly meaningful to someone. Today, I shall while away the morning hours learning words in cafes, misguidedly endeavouring to quench the thirst of my introvertedness with frappes, availing myself of the listlessly devotional subservience of ashtrays, peripherally training the shyness of my gaze on my waitress's meticulous meanderings. Observe the way she purposefully sachets, for all the world like a whirling dervish down the gangways. I must say, I'm surprised she doesn't stoop, that her smile doesn't droop, laden down as she is, with a lonesome poet's fantasies of perfectness and stacked plates. I like it when I stop. I mean, I like it whilst this is happening as well, but then when I stop, the silence is just so musical. I hope you can hear. Okay, so on the subject of writers daydreaming about falling in love with people that they're never going to muster up the courage to speak to, this. Tall and tanned, and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. When she moves, it's like a samba that sways so smooth and swings so gently that when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. The girl from Ipanema is an old lady now, still glamorous though. It's a seasonal existence. I spend my winters mostly writing stanzas in snow, and my summers watching patches of campanulas grow. It's no use getting stressed when flux tampers with flow. You can't really say a thing is rapid or slow. It's all relative. We depend on our comparisons, no? Compared with infinity, I am you, they are us, and white is as black as a crow. Compared to the speed at which these galaxies grow, the girl from Ipanema is a golden swan, swooping, tall and tan and young, and also lovelier than buddlier. The girl from Ipanema's not a scurrier, uber ultra elegant. Moods like molten sediment, he sighs at her and dreams of a volcanic envelopment. Tall and tanned and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking. The girl from Ipanema needs courting. Every time she passes, he adds a new line to the stanza. When she moves, it is quite like a samba, and when she passes, each one she passes goes. Ay, ay, ay. Top to toe, the girl from Ipanema's skin is now creased with wrinkles. But it hardly matters though, for as long as her cheeks have dimples, She will give the fellas geese, pimples. None of the locals know if she is even single, but all of the guys there are eager to twizzle some strands of her grey hair between thumb and index. Tall and tanned, far from young, not a bit fresh, but she is wearing a sick dress, and all the guys are like, yeah, she's the shit. Yes. Yes, he would give his heart gladly to make her his princess. But each time when she walks to the sea, still she looks straight ahead, not at he. How can he tell her he loves her? How can he tell her he loves her? This next thing I wrote in this garden quite a long time ago, 6 years or something. It's called My Sweet Angel. And it's the last romantic thing of the set. The scene is impossibly idyllic. Picasso couldn't paint it better with a brush drenched in mottled green acrylic. I tell her these visuals are astonishing, terrific, astrologically vivid. It kind of makes me want to jot a scenic lyric entitled something stupid like Botany is Wicked. Just then a pause descends over the contents of our picnic, lasting about the length of time a frog might take to rib it. Twice, and for a breath or two, I lock myself within it, before breaking out and saying, right, okay, so can you help me, please? I'm trying to rhyme opulent and mythic. And so far, all I've got is Providence and Prittstick. She says, will you drop the sodding sonnets for a minute? Now come here and sip the tonic of my spirit. What about spiral chai chocolate flavoured mystic? I say as I lean into her collarbone and kiss it. She melts. She melts. Usually her body, well, it's not exactly stiff, it's just a bit posh, a tad British. I mean, it's in the habit of acknowledging its limits, but crumbs, now her posture is the opposite of rigid. Somehow I've gone and turned a solid into liquid. A minute later, I'm wiping a fleck of slobber from her lipstick, whispering today is but a drop in our tropical Pacific. And fool that I am, silly wally billy dim wit, I take her nod to mean that she is more than moderately complicit. Well, she was nibbling on my finger, like it was a sausage or a twiglet. And I remember thinking, well, I'm not a connoisseur of kinship, but I'm pretty sure for her my fondness is infinite. And even though everything that followed was horrific, in that moment, I still believe she loved me from the bottom of her soul to the softness of her wingtip. My sweet angel. Okay, how are we doing? This is the point where I'd normally say, how do we feel? Do you want another poem? Do you want another 2? Do you want another 3? I've actually planned another 3. But, I mean, run out of cider. Maybe that's an omen. I want to do this one because it's brand new. I just want to try it out. And also because I want to dedicate it to my dad, whose birthday it is in a couple of weeks. Simon Thompson, Edge Financial Forecasting. Other financial forecasting services are available, but they're nowhere near as good. I'm not actually sure this poem is going to necessarily be the best advertisement for a financial forecasting service. But happy birthday, Dad. This is about being on a quest to find a quest. It hasn't got a name, and I'm not sure if it's finished or I don't. Yeah, I'll do it. This is a barky dog now. It all kicks off about this time. It's wildlife. Papa always told me, son. Who am I? Who are you? Hello, hi, peekaboo, how'd you do? Papa always told me, son. Who are you? Who am I? Toodaloo, strudel pie, see ya, bye. Back soon, I promise. Cross my heart and hope to live. Cross my heart and hope to feel. Son, it's time we had that chat. You're old enough to know the deal. Papa always told me, look, there's no nice way to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. You're gonna die, son. But don't be alarmed, so am I, son. There will come a time when we both will be dead. Yes, sir, you can take that from me as strawberry, raspberry, rosily red. The truest thing your father in his new role appointed by you of spokesman for the universe so far has said. One of these days, the jaws of the past will gorge on your heart and your bones and your head. But don't allow yourself, or rather the floundering, bespeedoed figure who stands, silhouetted against an eternally setting sun upon a makeshift raft of perception, drifting along at the fathomless whim of the tides that churn the shoreless seas of your stardust stirred into saltwater consciousness, whom we shall refer to henceforth mostly in the interest of brevity as Toby, to be irrevocably drowned in an ocean of dread. It ain't all doom and gloom in this realm into which you've unknowingly fled, 'cause hey now, hang about, hold on, wait up, look at this. What if we rewind? From 6 foot deep time, the present Greenwich Mean Time, what if we do that? Then what do we find? We find a hell of a lot of details is yet to be defined. Papa always told me, son, before the Last Supper, there's always the tea time. As long as you're breathing, there's always the meantime. Papa always told me, mark my words. Heed their compassionate inflection. You who are no more than 1 week new do never, not even once, ever the less. Even as I speak now, have in your possession the fledgling, not yet airborne, duckling of a yearning, as unquenchable as the desert's flesh, as incurable as the devil's penchant for devilishness, a burning desire to have the ambition to someday aspire, to make it your mission, to listen to the counsel of that tundra howling in the cavity that is your chest. Hello, hi, peekaboo, what's the hold up? Quit shilly-shallying. Pick your quest. So, lesson 1 of how to select an adventure quest. It's crucial to bear in mind that every quest is in a sense an incidental quest, a mere murkily refracting fragment of the ultimately destined quest. Which is to say, if you take my advice, you will train the laser rangefinder of your atoms on a point 2/3 of the way up the backbone of the meta quest. The quest to never lose sight of the fact of it being your fate to locate the means to discover a fractionally better quest than whatever quest happens in fact to be clad in the hat of your present quest. Am I making any sense, son? Yeah, I guess so, yes. Well, it'll have to do. You'll figure it out. Go get him, Tobes. What you want? I'm on a quest. What you want? Oh, I'm on a quest to find a quest. That's my boy. Hi there, sorry, excuse me. I'm looking for a path. Have you seen one? I'm on a quest to find a quest. Does anybody know which way the way is? Does anybody know which way astray is? Dad says the sooner I get lost, more time I have to get less lost. Hey? I'm on a quest to find a quest. I'm on the hunt for uncharted territory. Hung or left out the womb. Immediately interrogated the room. Which way's up and how far's the cemetery? Man, I've been trying to figure that out for all of my life. That's half a century. I mean to say, Stephanie, listen to me. This is supposed to be therapy. I've been doing this since birth. 3,000 miles up from the Earth's core. Non-stop scouring its curved floor. Searching for something. What am I even trying to search for? A treasure chest hidden in the turf, or a woman I could really get a thirst for with some pink lips and a firm core, or a house I could live in with a first floor and a big fridge and a firm door. You who buddy say you're... No, but it's something. I'm searching for something to search for. I'm searching for something to search for. Yes, I'm on a quest to find a quest. What do I want? I want to know. What do I want to know? I want to know what I want to know. Right, so I just need to find my question and anybody point me in the right direction. What I want to know. What I want to know, I want to know if I know, how to find out how to know, if I know whether I even know where I am. Oh, crap. I think I'm inside the quest. What's that? Billy, I'm slightly stressed. Why is that? Shit, what if I'm the quest? Abort mission, it's life or death. Oh, no, I think I'm all right. Refresh. It worked. Phew, thanks, Billy. Goodbye, God bless. Deep breaths, I'm on a quest to find a quest. Deep breaths, I'm on a quest to find a quest. Jesus, when will I find the quest? I'm gonna go to bed when I find the quest. I'll probably be dead when I find the quest. Nonetheless, if my quest is to find my quest, then I guess I should try my... Oh, would you look at that? How fun. Haven't seen him for a while, hun. What you doing with your old Spider-Man stabilized 3-wheel pedal bike, son? I'm going on a quest. Goodbye, Mum. Oh yeah, what's your quest? Christ, Mum. Actually, that question is quite dumb. If I already had a quest, why would I be going on a whole nother quest to find one? What, so I can just chase my tail like some kittens? Through the rain and the hail of existence, ad infinitum till my wretched life's done. By gum! People these days... You can't move for haters of the quest in this HD VR, open bracket, surround sound crystalline audio content provided by Chromosome CDJs, close bracket overgrown 3D maze. Papa always told me, son, the buttocks of your life are uniquely placed. On a throne of time which in turn rests its feet on the quark-stuffed elasticated cushion sleeves of more exponentially expanding infinities of space than there have ever been heartbeats in the whole entire history of the human being species race. Goo goo gaga. What's that supposed to mean? You still don't understand good grief, so be it, let me rephrase. Papa always told me, son, the pending trajectile arc of your life. That is to say, the topics of experience bullet pointed on the list of things to be decided to the mutual satisfaction of all parties present at your imminently forthcoming meeting with the fates are as practiced in the donning of mysteriousnesses continuously multiplying sequin capes, as with reference to yours and my capacities for comprehension are such dreams as are dreamt in, brains belonging to alien goggle-eyed, glow-in-the-dark, 20-legged creatures in deep-sea caves. Do you understand a word I'm saying? No. That's fine. Do you want to know the moral? Yes, please, Daddy, teach me, sage. Don't let anyone, and I mean anybody, bother you with spreadsheets or hassle you for ETAs. Papa always told me, son. I know this one. Life is just a series of menage a trois junctions that lead 3 ways. but don't let that scrunch up the poorest nose on my squeegee face. 'Cause all, and he means all roads lead to the green glades of way over yonder where the bleating sheep graze on the pea-green grass, and the nightingales stand tall, their sleek beaks raised, and proceed to perform songs of sweet, sweet praise, whilst their audience of one, albeit exceedingly appreciative, moon-illumined, peach-laden peach tree sways. So that was a thing. It's hard to tell how that. I enjoyed it. It's quite long, and I've never done it to a group of human beings before, so it's hard for me to imagine how that went down. But thank you for letting me try that out on you. I think I'm just going to do one more, because it's practically dark out here. What do I want to say before I leave? I want to say thanks for hanging out with me for a little bit. And also that whatever your experience of this thing that we're currently experiencing at the moment, I don't know, I feel you. Like, if you're working, if you're going out, if you're like doing kind of health, if you're in the health services, I don't know, if you're working, thank you for doing that. And whatever you're up to, like, I don't know, like, well done. My heart goes out to you, because it's really hard. Just like basically being alive. It's good, but it's hard. And then, like, I don't know, I just feel I'm basically in paradise here, as I've been going on about. I hope I've sounded more grateful than smug. That's been, I don't know if I will have achieved that or not. I don't feel smug, but I do feel really grateful to be here. But in spite of basically like being exactly where I want to be, doing exactly what I want to be doing, it's still really hard. I still spend loads of my time feeling completely like bewildered and just like scared or sad or all sorts of stuff. So whatever you're feeling, you're not alone. We're here together, temporarily, to look after each other. So I'm going to do a poem now about endings. Given that this is about to end, the day is ending. All things must come to an end. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again in one form or another. Take care. This is called Sunsets. There is nothing quite like being alone at sunset. It's like heartbreak, but warmer. It's like sitting with someone and holding their hand as they die the perfect death. It's like torture, if torture were pleasant. It's music if music were silent. It's you sat marooned on an island, chewing the pencil that drew the horizon. You're sketching a masterpiece, moving and vibrant. You think that it's done, you turn blue with excitement. But all that you've drawn is a moon in the sky, and a man sat upon it with truth in his eyes, stamping his socks on the roof of the night. In his left hand he holds a Peruvian pipe, From his right there's a pencil protruding, but why? What's he doing, you wonder? Is he scribbling things? There's a palm tree, a bird. Look, it's lifting its wings, and it's floating around on the whistling winds. And below on the ground with an imbecile's grin sits a child, and with something akin to a grim realization it hits you, the pin drops within. Because the fact is that you were the picture, not him. Yes, you were the fictional thing. There is nothing quite like being alone at sunset. It's like heartbreak but warmer. It's like making love. To Mother Earth's daughter, it's like being drunk by water. And there is nothing quite like it in all of the world, except for maybe it's like when you fall for a girl. If the girl was a princess and you were a frog, and she kissed you and you became huger than God, and you squeezed her love dry and she kissed you again. Now once more you're a frog and you wish to repent but you can't, because your legs won't kneel and your hands won't pray and your mouth never learnt to say sorry. There is nothing quite like that, except for maybe the face the sun pulled as it fled from your body. I never know how to respond when the sun absconds. It's too much to process. I never know where to begin when describing the feeling that flares if I squint at the sun through my soon-to-be fused lids and observe him offering the room his excuses. Like, sorry guys, I've got work in the morning. The damn world ain't gonna warm itself, but if you come around tomorrow once the birds have started squawking, I will share a little more of my immortal wealth. I never know how to behave when the sun's hands wave farewell to the evening. And then when I'm trying to satisfy the ink's urge to ooze, I can never quite decide upon which words to use. As these X as well as internal infernal blues mix, merge and fuse with the pink-purple hues, and my chin tilts to here as orange turns to rouge, and the wind fills my ear with a whispering whoosh saying, Mister, excuse me, I'm loath to intrude, but would you like a keg of this weird herbal juice? It's made of the sunset and it's rare as a dove's tooth. Tell me more. Well, it's lemon and ginger infused, and I got it off of Jennifer, sister to Zeus, in return for complimenting her kitsch Burberry shoes. I think it's basically a deadly elixir of youth. I've heard enough, so I sip, slurp a sluice, and suddenly I'm singing like a winged bird. Forsooth, Mother Earth's pretty bright, better give her dues. But can someone tell me, please? I'm a bit confused. Who put the red in her lips, curved and smooth, and more to the pointedly pitch-perfect truth? What turns the sky from a nice pristine, stylish cream to the lightish green of a twilight dream? It's lush. I'm peering through a violet screen of dust at the ultra-beguiling queen of dusk, feeling like I have just been concussed. I tell her, your eyes, they turn my knees to mush. Your whole vibe's ingenious. Ciao. Lots of love. Don't know how to say goodbye. It's like leaving a voice memo, a voicemail. You never know how to end if you haven't got the other person at the end of the line being like, yeah, alright, nice one then, bye, ciao, yeah, cool, alright, cool, yeah. No, you hang up.
Thank you so much for tuning into Royal Albert Home. My name is Craig Hassel. I'm the Chief Executive of the Royal Albert Hall, which sadly has had to close its doors for the first time since the Blitz. So while we can't welcome you to the hall, we can share these concerts with you from artists' homes to yours. If you are able to donate even the fraction of a price of a ticket, you'll be helping us look after our staff and look after our beautiful building during this lockdown. Please simply text Albert to 70490 to donate £5, or donate any amount at all online at royalalberthall.com. Thank you.